Hey, yo. Hmm. Mhm. 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 Damn, that's what's up. Okay. What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday, Lala. What's going on? Long time no chat. Derek here. Welcome, Lala, and anybody else who's gonna hop in here in a moment, and anybody who is tapping in after the fact and not able to join us live. Welcome. What's going on? Those who are new to the channel, my name is Derek. Cover everything wholesaling real estate on this channel, specifically virtual wholesaling real estate, as that's what I'm doing. Living in California, sourcing opportunity out in Houston, Texas. So if you are in the Houston market, the Houston metro market, tap in. I'd love to network, see if we can make something shake on future opportunities. Again, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy the content, do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave. I had a goal of hitting 50 subscribers before the end of the year. I surpassed that and I'm at 54 as of today, I believe. So I've set a new goal of 75 before the end of the year. So if you are able to take anything away from the content, if you think that somebody else would benefit from the type of stuff that we're talking about here, please do share it. Because again, I set that new goal of 75 now. So I'm not gonna go too crazy today. Lala, how's your week been? It's been good. It's been good. Generated a few good leads, really, and had some good conversations. Nothing that's like gonna turn into a contract, within the next few days, but definitely planting seeds here for future relationships, future networking opportunities, future deals. So really, really happy with the conversations that I've had this week and really looking forward to how that plays out really in the beginning of next year. And that's the approach that I'm taking. I feel like people at this point aren't really wanting to at least close before the end of the year. So I'm still, keeping my fingers crossed that somebody's willing to put something under contract so that we can close, end of January or whatever the case may be. But I'm kind of taking the approach of not forcing that down people's throats unless they really want that to happen. So I'm actually taking the approach of slow playing it, like this other guy the other day. I was, why don't we do that? Because he had just started to think about it. Once I approached him, he's like, yeah, I think I do want to sell, but it's owner occupied, and I don't have any idea of where I'd want to move to. So I took the approach of, why don't we do this? Take a few weeks, enjoy your holidays. Think about where you'd want to move. That way, when we round back and we reconnect in the beginning of January, we have a game plan. You have an idea of where you want to move. I have an idea of the numbers. Yada yada. So I'm kind of taking that approach, and I feel like people are appreciating that because uh, on the other end of the spectrum, people are trying to force it down their throats, and uh, I would imagine that turns people off. So I really wanted to hop on here today. I might get a little bit of cold calling in, but really, Jared, what's up? That's why I wanted to hop on. My guy Jared, I had emailed him over some of my Spanish speaking leads, and his girlfriend was nice enough to, I think it's her girlfriend, his girl was nice enough to call these leads because she's Spanish speaking. So I definitely appreciate that. I just listened to, me and Jared are chopping it up through Instagram right now. So I just, Jared, if you're listening, I just listened to your girl's first voice message, and I'm listening to the second one right now. I think I gotta. This is the first time to be honest, I've ever used these voice messages on Instagram. Mhm. Man, tell your girl thank you so much. That's like crazy that she was even able to further the conversation as much as beyond what we had already talked about. So Jared, the 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 one that your girl had just sent me voice messages on, that was Roberto. Is that one Roberto? Because I'm gonna pull both those up right now and try to give you some numbers if I have run comps on them. So um, um trying to figure out. I got a bunch of Robertos in my system. Think about that. So Roberto, what was his last name? Cal. Yeah, no, okay, that one was Roberto. Sounds like yeah, it was. Why is it not in my sent? As if I didn't send it to you just the other day. Maybe in my trash because I clear my inbox. Yeah. Okay. Um, Roberto Gutierrez. Oh, thank you. Maybe I got this one on my dialer. I don't see it in my texting. Let me pull it up on my dialer, see if I can find him. Roberto Gutierrez. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, I connected with him back about almost exactly a month ago. He said he wanted to sell, but he needed to talk to somebody in Spanish, and I just shot this over to Jared. So no, I haven't run comps on it yet. I can run comps on it pretty quickly though. Let's see. It sounds like it's in decent shape though. I don't know if that's why it all depends on what he's expecting. It sounds like he doesn't really know what homes are going for or what he wants out of it. It's really what his goals are. Because if he wants a quick cash sale, we could do that for him. But it's I would just say over communicate to him the benefit of a cash transaction. It's smooth, it's convenient. You're not going to have a bunch of appraisers and inspectors. Granted, we want the ability to walk the property, but it's going to be way less stress free than if you were to list it on market. But I wouldn't shy away from telling him, if you were willing to put up with everything that comes with listing it on market, you would get more money that way. I try to be as clear as possible with them because I don't want them to think that this is their only option. So let me run some comps on it real quick. 1,200 square feet. I'll do 900 minimum. 950. Max. I'll do 1,500. See if anything pushes up that high. Built-in 50. I'll do minimum 40. Maximum 60. That gives me 11 properties. 7 properties. All of which are across this main road, cross timbers. I have one that sold on our side that seems to be a pretty good comp. So that one sold for 165 back in April of this year with one extra bedroom. Let me pull this up on Zillow and see what his estimate is for this property. 169, about 170 is the Zestimate. Um, this may have been a driving for dollars property because it doesn't look that great on the picture on Google Street. So it has, again, one less bedroom than this comp right here that sold for 165 back in April. Ours could probably sell for 155. We have 200 less square feet. Ours could sell for 135. They have an extra 1,100 square feet on the lot. I don't think that's too much, very big deal. So like 135, but again, that's back in April. Same year built. That's back in April. And I also don't know if this one sold as is or it's a flip. So let me try to pull this up to see if I can find pictures for it. For this one that just sold. And I would recommend everybody to do the same when they do run comps. Don't just take the information on PropStream as 100% factual. So I pulled it up on Redfin, and now I can see the pictures, and I can see that it actually was not a flip. So they didn't get top dollar for this by any means. It was sold as is, but it also wasn't in horrible shape. So it was kind of rent ready. Um, pretty is rent ready is the best way to say it. Um, Not a flip by any means. I see some AC window units for AC. Yeah, it's kind of ugly actually. But again, it's not like a full gut job. It would have taken a pretty penny to bring that up to speed. So to say that this one went as is, ours could probably sell for 135. What did I say? 135 as is back in April. So maybe ours sells for like 140, 150 as is nowadays. Um, so what is it? Yeah, it's estimate 170, prop stream estimate 192. Let's take a look at some of these other ones that aren't too far away but do cross this major road. Um, no, none of these are really comps to be honest. So I'm gonna pull it back another year, see if I can find anything. That's a little bit closer. Let's see, 3, 5, and 7. 3, 5, and so 3 and 5. 3. This one sold October 2020 for 207. It has an extra bed and an extra bath. So ours could probably sell, I'm gonna say like honestly like 180. Ours has an extra 100 square feet, called 190. Ours has an extra 1,600 square feet on the lot and is 4 years newer. Call it 190. 190. Again, this one sold over a year ago, so we may be able to get 200 for this one. I don't think that that's too far fetched. Estimated value on prop stream again is 192, and this estimate is 170 ish. I think you may be able to get 200 ARV out of it. Let's see what the Redfin estimate is for our subject property. Redfin estimate on this is 171, so pretty similar to the Zestimate. I'm looking at some of the comps that Redfin is recommending. 210,000, 230,000. Smaller lot, 10 years older, smaller lot, 4 years newer. So yeah, I think 200 is pretty conservative. So call it 200. 1,200 square feet. He's saying that it's pretty much brand new. Let's not take his word for it and assume that it's going to need like a middle of the road average type of repairs. We're probably looking at like 115 max for a $20,000 assignment fee, and also has to speak with the wife. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I mean, if you guys can get those pictures, that'll go a long ways because we'll be able to really determine how much work is needed to it and how it compares to that property that just sold as is. So with those pictures, that's going to go a really long way, especially again because of that comp that just sold as is. So appreciate you on that one. That one, it's looking good. I think 200 is. I think 200. You call it ARV. Able to offer about 115, maybe even higher if what he's saying is factual, and it's only going to need like carpet paint or whatever the case is. And it sounds like they live there, so um, you know, yeah, appreciate you. What I would say is, yeah, just let me know when you get the pictures. Um, I, what I would do, I would slow play this. There's no rush on this. The fact that he's willing to have a conversation is really cool. Um, so I would just take the approach of deferring to a higher authority, being me, which is, not to say I'm some higher authority, but it's just going to be a lot easier because you guys won't feel the obligation to make him an offer on the phone. You guys are more so just collecting information, collecting the pictures, collecting the description of the condition, collecting, what it is that his goals are, and then we can hop back on here and discuss it like this and kind of set a game plan so that you guys can reconnect with him and then pass along the information. Probably can offer 100K, then go up from there depending on how it looks. Exactly. I would really though on this one, just to reiterate, um, well, I'm not even gonna say it. Let's get the pictures because if the pictures come back and it's like brand spanking new, then I feel a huge sense of obligation to inform him. Look, this is what we can do for you. Benefit of a cash offer. But have you considered selling it on market? Don't necessarily push him in that direction, but ask like, have you considered selling it on market? The reason I ask is because there are more hoops to jump through to sell it on market, but you'll likely be able to get more than what we're able to offer for a cash offer by listing it on market. It just depends on what you're looking to get out of this situation, right? Like your girl said, we can help you find a new place. We may even be able to help you out with a lease back agreement where you can stay put in the property, use the proceeds of the sale to put towards either a down payment or buy something outright. Like your girl had mentioned, he had mentioned he wants to buy, he doesn't want to rent. So that's likely going to be the case. Is they're going to want to use the proceeds. So all of that, it kind of to me is leaning towards a cash offer because with the market being as hot as it is, I don't really foresee them being able to sell at top dollar, at the point where they would be getting top dollar and have the buyer of that property agree to like a lease back or, you know, I mean, that's pretty much what I'm trying to say is like, if he goes to sell it on market, he's going to have to put that contingency in. If he truly does, if that's the most important thing to him is to buy a new place and not have to rent, I feel like we would be able to help out with that much more so, or at least he would have much better luck, you know, going with a cash offer route as opposed to trying to sell it on market. Not to say he wouldn't be able to do that by selling it on market, but at that rate, he's not going to be able to get top dollar because the buyer is going to have to consider that. Like, yeah, we're willing to let you stay on the property and do a lease back or a hold back or whatever the case is, but I'm not going to pay you top dollar if I can't move into the property right when I pay you. So, at that rate, it's kind of like, why not just go for a cash offer? It's going to be a lot smoother, and we will likely be able to act as kind of a concierge service where we're able to help in all aspects of the transaction as opposed to what he'd be getting if he sold it on market. Again, not to say that he couldn't get those things, but the fact that it's kind of we're offering him benefits of a one-stop shop. Like, yeah, we'll pay you cash. We can facilitate a lease back. We can put you in contact with a realtor to help you find a new place to move into. We may be able to help you out with your move if that's something that you're interested in. I wouldn't say all that right out of the gate, but um, if he starts to seem like he's getting on the fence after you propose the whole, why don't you just list it on market? Then and it may just be something that you want in your back pocket to list off all of these things. The other one, let me take a note on this. I think ARV 200K conservatively, MAO. What did I say? 115K for average repair. Plans to offer 100K once pigs are received, and working up from there. and then the other one was a text lead. Um, and his name was Enrique. This one's complicated because of the layout of the lots. I don't really know. This is one where I would appreciate just like a lot of information gathering because I was using Google Translate to communicate with him through text, and I'm kind of I'm assuming that I'm just assuming a lot of things. Assuming that um, so this is what I'm led to believe that he owns two lots side by side. On the lot on the left, it's vacant. The lot on the right has two properties on it stacked. Like a, what do they call that? Like a flag lot, but it's the same. He owns both the properties on the same lot. That's what my impression is that he's trying to sell both lots, one of which has two properties on it. If you Google it, Jared, you'll see what I'm talking about. But he gave me two different addresses. I believe that the address, one of those addresses, is for the vacant lot because at one point there might have been a property there, and then another address is for uh, like the two properties. It's like when you see those like one half or like the unit A, unit B, because they're on the same lot and they kind of share an address, but it's separated for the mailing system. So that's how I interpret it. And if that is the case, then we would be offering obviously lot value for the vacant lot. And then depending on the condition of the two houses, we may even just be offering lot value for that one as well. If the properties are salvageable, it's something that I'm not really familiar with on how to comp this out, but what I'm led to believe is that one house is the main house and the second house is like a back house, and you can't necessarily assign full value to that house in the back, although it is just another house, only because it's on the same lot. So you have to assign like half value to that. So I for sure had run comps on this one, and let me kind of share with what I. So this is my notes. I said empty lot on the left with a max allowable offer of 50K for a new construction play. So 50K max for the lot. And these are something I'd like to rerun these numbers first before we start making offers. But and then the lot on the right has two properties. Assuming both properties. Oh, and that's another thing. I just was unable to gather really any information. That's why I say I would appreciate it just being like a real information gathering phone call because um, it was very surface level when I was using Google Translate. I couldn't really dig deep into figuring out what it is he was saying. But I'm assuming that both properties are similar square feet, similar beds and baths. The ARV for the front property I calculated as 130, and then assigning half value to the back house at 65,000. So the total for the right side lot would be 195 ARV, assuming both properties need about $35,000 in rehab and a $10,000 assignment fee for the right side lot and 30,000 buyer profit. The MAO, the max allowable offer for the right side would be 70,000. Now, that would be 70,000 for the right, $50,000 for the left vacant lot, which what is that? The 120K for both. But I think that we enter into negotiations with taking the approach of what I was just kind of mentioning, saying that we were essentially going to be taking both at lot value. Um, and then I said the MAO for both lots would be 80,000 max, which may sound a little odd because I'm assigning $50,000 to the vacant lot. But then you have to consider the cost of demolition for these two properties. If somebody were to want to tear both properties down and clear it out and make it build ready in order to put up a home on the left and a home on the right. Um, so I would say, approach it saying $80,000 for both lots. But if, both the properties on the right side are in decent shape and, um, he's willing to share all that information that we need, like the condition of both, the square footage of especially the one in the back, because you can't just Google the one in the back. It doesn't have its own address. Um, so taking the properties as is, max allowable for both lots, 120K, 50 for the vacant lot, and then 70 for the lot with the two homes on it. That's how I calculated it, at least. I got really creative with this. This one is a little bit more complicated because of the layout and the situation of what's going on here. But the other one, that sounds like a good opportunity there. So again, appreciate you. Let your girl know that I appreciate her as well. That's the fact that she was even able to get in contact with these people and have a conversation is awesome. This is just a lead that I was going to throw away because I don't speak Spanish. But now that I know that you guys are willing to contribute to that, I'm going to keep tossing the opportunity if you're willing to help. And obviously we'll be taking this down together and splitting everything. So um, yeah, I think I'm gonna honestly end it here. I've been running around all day today, kind of running errands and chores and stuff. Some unforeseen stuff popped up, and I'm on dog duty today, so I'm gonna run out and play with him. I just wanted to hop on here, share, this conversation because I was in communication with Jared and figured it'd be cool to share with you guys. So appreciate anybody that hopped in here. Sorry, I know this one's a short one. I wish everybody a happy Friday. Do me a favor, hit the like button before you head out, and I will likely see you guys on Monday. Again, appreciate every last one of you guys. Love you all. Till Monday. Peace.